Hello everyone. This video is prepared to give you an idea about the current tariff war which is going on in the world. It is said that US economy has imposed tariffs on different countries at very high rate. So what is the meaning of this tariff war and how US imposing tariffs can affect the entire world economy? Let's analyze it. I will start with the basic meaning of the term tariff. What is tariff? Tariff is nothing but a type of tax. It's basically levied when the goods are imported from the other economies, or even when the goods are exported. But we'll focus more on the imported goods in this case. Let's understand the meaning of the term tariff with the help of an example. Suppose our country is importing a bike of 1 lakh rupees from XYZ economy, and the rate of tariff applied in case of that XYZ economy is 20%. So if the cost of the bike imported is 1 lakh rupees, 20% comes to 20,000 rupees. So by the time the bike enters India, the price of that bike would be 1,20,000 rupees. So in simple words, when tariffs are levied, the cost of the imported products will actually rise. And if the cost rises, the demand for that particular product can go down. If imported bikes are becoming more expensive, our citizens will not go for the imported bikes. Our citizens will buy the Indian bikes. So automatically, it will increase the demand for the Indian products. So now let's understand the effects of tariffs. It increases the domestic production because rather than depending on the imported products, our citizens will prefer to buy the domestic products. Naturally, to fulfill the domestic demand, the internal production of the economy will actually increase. It will even increase the domestic consumption. People will not buy the imported products, people will buy the products of their own economy or the home country. It will even increase the revenue of the government because, as I told you, tariff is a type of tax. The rate of tariff increases, the rate of tax will increase, and ultimately, government will earn good amount of revenue. And it will increase the price level. Now, when I use the term price level, it's the general price level. It can even result in inflation in our economy. And it manages trade deficit efficiently. Now, first understand the meaning of the term trade deficit. Trade deficit is nothing but the difference between imports and exports. Or when you come across the term trade deficit, in simple words, it's nothing but the value of imported goods is more than the value of exported goods. When tariffs are levied, the demand for imported goods can go down. If the demand for imported product decreases, automatically the deficit in trade, or I can say the level of trade deficit will also go down because the payments of the economy will actually go down in that particular case. Now, when you read the paper, you may come across the term reciprocal tariff. So what is this reciprocal tariff? Reciprocal tariff means if your economy levies a tariff rate of 20% on my products, even my economy will levy a tariff of 20% on your products. So we will try to pay, or both the countries will try to follow the same rate of tariff. Now recently, US has made announcements related to reciprocal tariff. A few days back, that is 2nd of April and 3rd of April, you must have read articles related to the rates of tariffs implemented by US economy on different economies or different countries. I will give a basic example. US has levied a rate of 34% or a tariff rate of 34% on Chinese products. The next day, China also levied a tariff rate of 34% on the products imported from USA. This is the best example of reciprocal tariff. Now, why this reciprocal tariff was introduced by US economy? And what is the scenario of India in terms of this reciprocal tariff? Let's analyze it after some time. On the screen, you have the different rates of tariff applied by US economy. In fact, the list of approximately say 50 countries is specified. US has levied a tariff of 49% on Cambodia, means on the products imported from Cambodia. Sri Lanka, it's 44%, Bangladesh 37%, China 34%, and when it comes to India, it's 26%. So logically, India, I can say, is much better than other countries in terms of this tariff war or the tariff rates that are announced by US economy. The baseline of tariff is 10%. It means US has made an announcement that it's going to import the goods from different countries, and from all the countries from where it's going to import the products, the rate of tariff would be at least say 10%. Now let's understand the average rate of tariffs applied by India and US before 2nd of April. These two countries are highly dependent on each other, or I can say India is more dependent on US economy in terms of exports of different commodities. Before 2nd of April 2025, when US used to import the products from India, US used to charge a tariff of 3.3%. And when India used to import the products from US, India used to charge a tariff rate of 10%. This is the average figure that's available. Definitely, you may even come across some reports wherein it is stated that the average rate of tariff is even 17%. But I will go with this figure of 10%. Now imagine, because of this 3.3% tariff rate, Indian products were sold at very low price in US economy. The demand for Indian products was very high in US. Now, US has made an announcement that it's going to increase the tariff, or it has increased the tariff to 26%. That's the average rate that has been declared. Now what will happen? The price of Indian products will become expensive in US economy. And US will not buy Indian products. If US economy does not buy Indian products, the exports of Indian economy can actually go down, which will bring down even the GDP of the country or the GDP of Indian economy. And the sectors or the important Indian sectors which will get affected, I can say the automobile industry is going to get affected on a very large scale. The IT sector is going to get affected, and even the pharma sector is going to get affected. Now, if you look at the pharma sector, before 2nd of April 2025, it was said that pharma sector will not come under the ambit of the tariff rates that are announced by US government. But now it is even said that tariffs will be applied even in case of the pharma products. Now, why? Why US went with this concept? The reason is very simple. US went up with this concept of tariff because US wants to reduce its trade deficit. In one of the reports which I read, it was specified that the trade deficit in US economy was near to $49 billion. It means just imagine the payment side of US economy, it was very high. And to reduce the payments, in fact, the US government has come up with all the steps. But I can still say that India is much better than other economies in terms of this trade war, because other economies are badly affected. And it is said that this probably the reason for introducing this tariffs was it was assumed that US may enter into recession to control or to reduce the impact of recession. The tariffs have been introduced so that things can be controlled in US economy. Of course, if US enters into recession, even India can enter into recession because our foreign investments are actually based on, say, US economy. When it comes to the proportion of goods imported from India, proportion of goods in US economy imported from India, the ratio is hardly say 2.7%, not more than that. But if we speak about the proportion of goods which India is importing from US economy, it's near to 70%. So any kind of say imbalance in US economy can even affect our Indian economy on a very large scale. So let's hope that this tariff war ends soon, and uh, all the countries this prosper, all the countries they face favorable growth in GDP numbers. So let's wait and watch how the tariffs that are launched by US economy can affect other economies in the world. Probably other economies will try to find out newer markets. Other economies will start exporting different commodities to different economies to reduce the dependency on US economy. So let's wait and watch what happens. Thank you.